Please, can we just pray for peace? Let's pray for our dear sister. I just pray the Lord God will strengthen her in the name of Jesus. More grace, strength, power in Jesus' name. You go from strength to strength of Jesus' precious name. Amen. It is what we all in Jesus' name. God bless you. God bless you greatly. Good morning, everybody. Please, those in if you are using the, let me check what I'm saying. All right, guys, welcome to Prophetic You. I'm really excited about the activation we're doing. Those with intercession revival, only one should keep that. The remaining two, the remaining co-hosts, please rename it. I need to see your name. I need to see your names. And please, I need to see your names. I'm really excited about today's activation. And I pray that God will strengthen us all in Jesus' name. For those of us that are taking this seriously, trust me, we're in for a great ride. Today, our activation is going to be towards our sphere of influence. Our activation is going to be towards sphere of influence. I've always said we're going to do a training on it, but we're going to start. What I'm going to ask you to do first is, after this class, everything you're going to document and activations we're going to take, you have to get a note, a fresh note. If you're the type that like to use your note, your phone, yeah, but you could also get a fresh note, because we're going to track this for a year. Yeah, you heard me right. We're going to be doing this mountain of influence throughout. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to finish throughout this month, but we're going to track it for a year, and then we're going to go into that. So I don't know, is anybody excited? Are you ready for us to jump right into Prophetic You activation? For those of us that are new on the call this Saturday, every Saturday we do prophetic activation. After our prophetic use exercise, we do activations, and then we just pick it up from there. I want to say that this idea of 7 mountains of influence, many people have questioned it, many people are angry about it. Well, my take is just, I see it as just for easy identification, for specification, to be able to target properly. I think that there may be multiple mountains beyond this, because each of these mountains might have sub-mountains. So I don't want to get into the political or theological aspect of it, but I don't see anything they're saying that is anti-biblical, because even in the times of Christ, we see people that were tax collectors, people that were Pharisees, and Joseph of Arimathea, that's how it's pronounced. Joseph of Arimathea actually was a Pharisee. If you read the book of Matthew or the Gospels, you will see where he says that, and some of the Pharisees or some of the religious leaders believed in Jesus, but they were afraid to speak publicly, because of fear of being banned from the temple or synagogue, right? So I think that we're going to, please, I'm going to advise maybe next week, because even me, I'm not properly equipped. We'll try to get our videos on for those of us that can, right? Reason is because of the kind of activations we're going to be doing. So I just wanted to put that in motion. So whatever you've heard about 7 mountains or 8, but whatever mountain, please put it aside and let us learn. For the purpose of this activation, we're trying to see how to be more effective. Last year, I did a training on metrons. I don't know if they'll be able to put it on YouTube, guys, so that Buki and the team follow. You guys might be able to look at that recording we did last year when I was doing training. I think it was after, around that NSAS period or afterwards, when I was doing metron. So that we can put it on YouTube and people can go and watch. But we're going to be touching it again. Now let's jump right into it. So if you're where you are, get your notes ready, or you're using your phone so that you can get the best out of this. God has assigned people sphere of influence where their prophetic gifts and graces have the greatest impact. The idea is when it is where everybody can function everywhere. Okay, everybody can function everywhere. You have been graced. It's almost like we're in that season where your grace can work everywhere, your prophetic grace can work everywhere, but it is most effective, right? It is most effective. While it is true that your gift can work anywhere, your gift works best somewhere. in a specific geographic or demographic area. All right. It is very, we're in a very, we're believers, we're in a season of anyone, anywhere, anytime kingdom, which is true. However, it is best, somebody catch that, to know exactly your sphere of influence, your demography as you grow. And I will see scriptural reference as to Paul and Peter. Now, we're gonna be doing assignments. For those that really want to be serious about the assignment, you can send it to Intercession Revival Academy or ireacademy@gmail.com, or one of our official email. That's whatever, admin at ireacademy.org, at ireacademy.org, and would respond, because what you could do is open a Google, so you don't have to keep sending documents. You can just open a Google sheet or a Google Doc and just add admin ira@gmail as your they'll put the mail, because if it's Google Doc, it's good to use the Gmail account. So ireacademy@gmail, you can add us as participants, and I'll take out time from time to time, or any of the team, to review your assignments. Like, is what you put into this that we'll take out. I see people that are really engaging these daily prayers. I'm seeing the impact. Like, guys, we are really doing discipleship all through the year. That's what we've done so far, and I know God is going to bless us. Now, a case scenario is Paul and Peter. Peter, if you're aware, if you're not aware, Peter was assigned to the Jew by who? God. Peter was sent to the Jew. Paul was sent to the Gentiles. However, if you read through scripture, Paul wanted to speak to the Gentiles, to the Jews so badly. I think it was also part of the fact that because he really persecuted the Jew, maybe he felt like he had a responsibility to, atone for that, and really be like, yo, guys, I was one like you. So you see that your passion for his mountain is not enough. You have to be sent to that mountain, all right? You have to have favor and an anointing to function in the certain places. You hear me? You can bless people. I mean, I'm not now saying that. So right now you cannot prophesy to anybody because you're supposed to, you what mountain? No, I'm saying that as you grow, maybe for proper administration of your giftings, that area, I will see the activation we're going to do, and we use one or two people that are willing to to allow us to practice and use them, not use them, to practice with you guys, So Paul wanted to go to the Jews by force, but there was a restraint. God kept telling him, go to the Gentiles. In fact, in Ephesus, when they go to the temple in Ephesus to really talk to the Jew, they will fight, they will want to stone him, all manner of things. But when he took his disciples away and prayed with them, there was revival afterwards, when he focused on not arguments and just building his disciples and then engaging the world. So that's the same thing. Some of you might see areas where you have struggled, and that's why we need to understand this thing. So I'm going to just take us through. Where did this thing come from? The Great Commission is a world mandate for all creation. The Great Commission, that's Mark 16:15, and also found in Matthew, I think 26, 28, the end of Matthew. It says that they said, go into the world and preach the good news to all creation. If you read the book of Romans 5 as well, we have all been called into the ministry of reconciliation. I always say, but our deployment differs, all right? We have all been called into the ministry of reconciliation, but our deployment just differs. So in 1975, that's where this whole thing came out. Bill Bright, founder of Campus Crusade for Christ. Lauren Conham, founder of Youth with a Mission. Yawa, you might have heard them. Had lunch together, and God simultaneously gave them a message to give to others. And this is the message. A culture is shaped by 7 mind molders or mountains in society. If you can influence each of these areas for Christ, we will win the culture of our nation. So I'm going to ask the question to see if you are following. What year did they gather? Anybody catch the year? How many? Where are they? I'll mention their name again. Bill Bright, founder of Campus Crusade for Christ. Lauren Kunam, founder of Youth with a Mission. They had lunch together, and God simultaneously gave them a message to give to others. What year was that? I mentioned the year. I want to see if somebody caught that. Fantastic. 1975. Well done. 1975. And what was the word? A culture is shaped by 7 mind molders or mountains in society. Almost like if you can influence each of these areas for Christ, we will win the culture of a nation. So never said that this was only the sphere. They're just saying that these are 7 pointers. These are 7 molders that they can pick of. And during the time frame, Francis Safar was giving a similar message. So The seven mountains revealed to these three world influencers were, so I'm talking about the seven mountains that somebody can, if you know it, you can start to type as well. Business, government, media, arts and entertainment, education, family, and religion. I'll take that again. Business, all right. So you're talking about business, all this economy, all right, because they call it economy. Business, economy, or economy, government, media, arts and entertainment, education, family, and religion. Fantastic. All right. Those are the seven. Now, I love this so much. I love this so much, guys. All right. Because a lot of people are getting into trouble because of this. Look at what happened during that US election. I bet you, not everybody were called to the sphere of ministering to nations. Some of them were ministering to nations that they've never even started ministering to the local government, or they've never started ministering to, there's no track record, all right? So what happened was this move of prophetic, God, I see the hand of the Lord to always restore to the body. But if we're not properly taught, we'll walk into error, like it has always been done. If you read the book by Kenneth Hagin, it's always talked about the apostolic and the prophetic move. That what's happened is most times when there is this move, when the Lord revives it, literally God has to raise another breed of prophet to clean it out again, because it's one of the easiest office or the gifting to be abused. All right. So it is important for us to understand this. Many believers have dreams or words about prophesying over world leaders, entertainers, or business mogul. Can I state here, there is no mountain that is more influential than another. If you understand the purpose of this, that God is after humans. A while ago, I think last week I was ministering. I said, if you want to know where God is, if you want to know where God want to go, is where people are. God want to go where people are. Maybe that's why God is not yet sending missionaries to Mars. Maybe because maybe there's nobody in Mars yet. If you want to know where God want to go, is where people are. So every mountain, every sphere, every person you meet is an opportunity to evangelize. It's an opportunity to preach. It's an opportunity to bless lives. It's an opportunity to be a blessing. Does that make sense? So let's get that out of the way, because I see the reason why some people I want to be speaking to billionaires, because you think that is higher than speaking to some guys in the cave of Abdullah, forgetting that some of the guys in the cave of Abdullah will someday become billionaires or much more. All right. So many believers have dreams or words about prophesying over world leaders, entertainers. I believe that God wants them to happen, but how will it happen? Perhaps more importantly, how will you prepare yourself for that meeting? That's what is important. So it's not about what sphere can I start to minister in that sphere. Is, are you prepared for the sphere you are going to? Are you going through? And that's why I'm excited that a lot of us still show up on Saturday, because when the Lord highlighted, I was use Saturdays for activation, and I'm going to try to even make sure that we really push it. Is because, guys, this is how get ready. This is how we prepare. 1 Timothy 4:7-8 says, have nothing to do with godless myth and old wives' tales. Rather, train yourself to be godly. For physical training is of more value. For godliness has value for all things, holding promise for both present and life to come. 1 Corinthians 9:25 says, everyone who competes in the game goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that would not last, but to get a crown that will last forever. If getting a crown that will not last, require training. I mean, to those of you that follow Joycey, Joyce is one of those people that is very key on fitness. You know, she's inspiring some of us to be doing fitness in our mind, but someday we believe we'll get out. Well, I'm using the excuse that I don't have fitness outfit yet. As reason I'm not gone, I will get, amen. But my point, if you check Joyce's story, just begin to carry the kg. I can't go to the gym now and go and carry the kg she's gaining. She's doing some burrips or whatever that thing is called, jumping up and down. I mean, if I start, I won't just start to do that. All right. I know somebody that, I know somebody there to me that went to the gym, and the person gets there, and the first time the one person passed out, because you see, you can't just go there and just think you can do anyhow. You need to build, and that's what this is saying. So if you think whatever sphere God is sending you to, you need to build. All right. So we need to tell people that even this gym thing is not a competition. So I see some people, it's not competition. You need to build. Okay. Faith is like a muscle, right? That must be exercised. No one would enter a national sport competition if you're not trained or competed on that level. If you look at this process of Olympics, you would have started with what's it called? You start gradually. You don't just appear to represent Nigeria if you don't start training. All right. And that's why a lot of us, this is where it gets frustration. This morning when I came on, I'm like, God, this is so good. Help me manage my time. I need to give myself to more training and getting more knowledge to even train people better. Right. So we need to, in the same way, many think they will just influence national leaders, entertainers, or millionaires without anything at all. All things are possible, yeah, but that idea is not very probable because God honors faith that has action behind it. So God has raised you for education. What are you doing right now? Are you working on that little curriculum? Summer just passed. You can, your friends of your family, they should be able to attest that, yes, you have something for kids and education. Could you have planned a summer camp? The problem is we're so big on wanting to do something that the world sees. Forget that your training time is an opportunity to train. If you notice some people, I think Tutu, I don't know, Tutu, your team, are you guys still meeting? Tutu Abodering. I want you guys as an example. Tutu, do you guys still meet? All right. And how has it been doing that activation together?
Awesome.
All right. Thanks so much. So what I'm saying is that some people are still, if you don't have a partner, you can just on this call or somewhere, just have a friend. They've been practicing the prophetic, practicing word of knowledge. If you notice, most times now, when Tutu wants to give a word, she tries to go in the angle of word of knowledge based on the training we did. So what I'm saying is, if you don't begin to give yourself to it, I was saying someone did to me, and person like, oh wow, I'm really. I said, yes, you are. But if you don't practice, if you're not, if you don't break the shame of what will people say, if you don't break the shame of I don't want to get it wrong, it's okay. And that's why we're here. Practice. Okay. All right. So God honors faith. But faith without action is corresponding action is fake. All right. The size of your faith is not determined on how much you think you believe, but rather on what level you have exercised that belief. Did you get that? The size of your faith. Someone like, oh, mustard seed faith. I have big faith. How many of you have been in a season where you're trusting God for something and you think it's just by how big you are thinking about it? No, sir. The size of your faith is not determined by how much you think you believe, but rather on the level you have exercised that belief. Did somebody catch that? It's not by how much you think you believe. It's not by how the magnitude of your imagination alone. It's by how much, okay, you have exercised that belief. What is an example? If you want us, let me give you an instance. You want to see the dead race. Have you prayed for headache? Have you prayed for back pain? Have you prayed for menstrual pain? You want to trust God for cancer? Have you prayed for ulcer? Have you prayed for fibroid? Have you prayed you don't just arrive there. You start to engage to build, because guess what? It becomes a foundation. It becomes a pointer that, yeah, if God could do that through me, I could believe for more. All right. So people often tell him, and I'm reading from Danny, his name is Danny, that they have a million billion faith. And then he asked them that, okay, what is the level of and to what level is your faith currently exercised? Usually they look at it like, what do you mean? So like, I believe God has sent me to the nations. Okay, do you have your passport? No. Okay, do you have any visa? No. Okay, have you even traveled to any state in your country to no. But no, I have the nations. You have to build that way, all right? It's like saying that, but saying you have a faith for $1 million when you're not even seeing provision for small amounts. It's like saying you believe you will win the 100-meter Olympic hurdles because you sit on the couch watching them on TV. What are we saying? If you don't put to practice some of these things, it's just be like you're just admiring them run. Any person could potentially run faster or lift a heavier weight, but potential doesn't determine performance. Did you get that? And I was saying that yesterday on the marriage call. Potential doesn't develop performance because there are a lot of untapped potentials. So untapped potentials will never tell you what you're really able to do. Potential doesn't determine performance. Training does. For people that want to marry, side patterns does. You don't marry potential, you marry pattern. What is the pattern in that person's life? All right. Because you could lift 200 pounds someday, but now how much can you lift right now? Perhaps you could do much more. What can you do right now? Your potential may be 200 pounds, but your performance may be 120. That's okay. Now you know what you must do to train for that level. Okay. So let's return to the money metaphor. Whereas God has given you the potential to believe God for $1 million, but what level are you currently performing at? Do you commonly give hundreds of thousands? Have you believed the Lord for large amount before and seen results? It would be good for most of us to be more honest in evaluating the difference between our potential faith and current exercise of faith. The distance between the two determines the need for training. And it's good for you to determine, all right, where am I right now? Yes, we want to raise 100,000 intercessors and all. Have we consistently raised 100? Have we consistently raised? What does that look like? All right. The distance between your potential faith and your current exercise faith tells you the level of training you need. All right. Is somebody following me? We'll get to the activation shortly. So some of you wondering, what area should I train? How should I know how to exercise my giftings? Second Corinthians 10 verse 13 to 16 is very important. You see, if you're called into the track, into the field events, I know Joyce, all these people, sorry, I'll keep it to Joyce and anybody else that like to run and all. The track and field event, there are over 20 potential disciplines inside of it. These events range from running and jumping to throwing to a combination of many disciplines called the decathlon, whatever that is. All right. Now, an athlete that wants to go into throwing doesn't need to spend all their time training for running. All right. Those competing in jumping event don't even know how to learn how to throw. You don't need to go and just be throwing and all. So why we have general track and event training, the one that is general principle, warm-ups, all those ones that help you regardless of where you are. And I'll call them, for the purpose of this, portable skills, or portable, why you need to learn the discipline of your prophetic gift, why you need to learn prophetic culture, prophetic administration, prophetic why you need to learn how to administer your prophetic giftings, the etiquette of the prophetic and all of that. You also need to understand your sphere. Just the same way someone doesn't just train to throw and everything, you also need to learn the sphere. I'm setting this up because we're going to go in to start doing our activation. But first, listen to 2 Corinthians 10, 13 to 16. It says, well, we will not boast beyond our measure, but within the measure of the sphere which God appointed to us as a measure, to reach even as far as you. For we are not overextending ourselves. Are you overextending? As if we do not reach to you. For we were the first to come even as far as you in the gospel of Christ, not boasting beyond our measure, that is in other man's labor. Are you featuring in other man's labor? Are you eyeing other? And guys, it is easy. Let's be real. But with the hope that as your faith grows, we will be within our sphere, enlarged even more by you, as to preach the gospel even to the regions beyond you, and not to boast in what has been accomplished in the sphere of others. What Paul was saying, what 2 Corinthians was saying, 2 Corinthians 10, 13 to 16. Please go and read it in different translation. The reason why a lot of us, and guys, trust me, even me, I had to deal with this. And anytime he tries to raise his head, I pray and I'm accountable to you and I rise above this. Do not be lured by another man's measure or another man's sphere. It's easy to sit back. The reason why you admire another man's sphere is because they did the work necessary. So for that visible act you're seeing, you commit to building your own sphere. Focus where you are. Focus where you are. There was a time where everybody wanted to do a women's program because it looked like that's what to do. If you're a woman, have a woman's program. No. If you're not called and anointed to it, it's fine. A woman can be anointed to do men's program. Yeah. A woman can be anointed to just be in education. It is fine. My point is, do not let the spirit of this age make you trapped to think you have to be in something to be used by God. So now, how do we go to that sphere? In your notebook, I want you to write this down. The easiest way to determine a sphere is when God just tells you or assigns you to a specific area. All right. But there are many ways God speaks to us. So God could speak through the realm of observation. I'll tell you again. The easiest way to determine your sphere is when God just tells you. When God tells you or assigns you to a specific sphere. For some people, it comes as a direct word, a knowing in your heart, and then it's confirmed by many people. For some people, it is true observation. For some people, it's true retrospective. For some people, it's a combination of all the three. Did you take that? For some of you, you have to look back with what we're going to do now to be able to see. Because some of you are able to think, oh, maybe that's it, but maybe you are confused. How many of you feel like maybe I'm called to more than one? Yeah, but I believe there's always a primary sphere. And so one of the ways God can speak to us is through the realm of observation. So let's get started. If you do not know specifically where God has assigned you to, then you might want to ask the following questions. All right. I want to answer the following question. Number one. Oh, sorry, I wish I had a pencil too. Okay, let me just use this because I'm going to do it as well. Number one. Are you ready? Who wants to also who want us to look at their work when they are done? You can raise your hand. So when we're done, we'll do this together. We'll also check anybody that wants to also practice and they don't mind being used to practice. Can you raise your hand? All right, Queen Iwo, and okay, we have 2 people already. Fantastic. Okay, I saw Queen Iwo's hand first. So everybody writes, and then we'll come to the end of it. We'll now do it together. And I'm just going to randomly call somebody. All right, so get ready. All right, finding your mountain of influence. With this exercise, determine which of the mountain is your strongest sphere of influence by taking time to answer these 5 questions. Your strongest, that's what we want to do first. Your strongest. I see more hands up, of course. Everybody writes. We might not take everybody, definitely. We might just take one person and randomly just call somebody. All right. In what area have I seen the greatest amount of influence, favor, and authority? Remember, that's right. Joyce, can you copy that 7 sphere again and paste it so that it's up right there? So we're looking out for your strongest sphere, guys. This morning, we're looking out for your strongest. I'm not looking for the one that you can do by the other. I think I'm good in all areas. Because God can allow you in a season to feature in other months doesn't mean we want to look at first your core. And next week, we'll look at other ways to determine your metrons. Because even in that place, you need to know your metrons, your demography, your sociography, even in that place. So I'm going. In what area have you had the greatest amount of influence? I remember the first time I did this, I was trying to be very, because some of you are still fighting the answer in your head. I don't know if there's anybody that way. You are fighting the answer in your head. So write it in your notebook. If you want to chat it there, that's fine. Some of you are still writing it in you're also fighting that idea. Lie. Now, what do I mean is that have you seen the greatest amount of influence? Meaning your influence, people know what people know more about you. Yes, in what area have you had the greatest form of influence or authority or favor? Meaning you enjoy favor, there's been opportunity for you to engage and exercise. I mean, people call you up for this and all. Now, second question. Now, I don't want you to write more than one area of influence. Guys, I don't want you to write more than the 7 mountains are family, religion, business, government, education, arts, and entertainment, and media. I don't want you to write more than one, okay? Because the idea is not so that you can see how, no, the idea is to see your major place. In what areas do the tasks, result, and promotion comes most easily for you? In what area do the task, meaning the demand of it, the result, the promotion come easily to you? What area have you seen promotion the most? All right. Now, it's okay if it doesn't align with the first, so that we can begin to now, all these questions will point you to the major one. In what area do the task, results, and promotion comes most easily to you? In what area? The results that you have gotten. Think about it. For those of you, I feel like some people are struggling, they can't even answer any of the question. It's okay. But take time to think about it again. There have been areas that have influenced people. Look back to your uni years, look back to your secondary school, look back to your child, look back to the last 2 years, last 1 year. All right. What is that area that you have the greatest amount of influence and favor and authority? That when you speak on that, people actually listen. Okay. Where have I seen the most success with the least amount of effort? Where is that area that you have seen the most success with the least amount of effort? Where have I seen the most success with the least amount of effort? Meaning that if you don't even do too much, you don't research too much, you get results. Anytime you function in that sphere, whether you are prepared or not prepared, you're tired, you are from sleep, you are from money, whatever, when you research, you do more work, you get results. When you don't even do too much, you still get results. What area have you seen that? You know, even me, I'm amazed at my answers because I've really matured. Because there was a time where I was really struggling. When I was trying to do my demography, I was just trying all sorts of things. Number 4, in what area am I motivated to work hard and persevere? In what area are you motivated to work hard and persevere? Like you've been through, you have tried to do many things. Let me give you an example of Dano. He it keeps trying. Like it will just okay. Let me give that example. So don't influence anybody's thinking. Just think about it. In what area are you motivated to work hard and persevere? Meaning you try different things, or up and down, or you just what area are you motivated to persevere? You've tried Orishi, but you still do this one. This one, you be tired. A typical example for me, my God, I can't in the last 1 month, my waking up out of bed, the way I'm still speaking like this, you think that I've been reading for this thing and preparing. No, I just say, okay, where are we going? And the Lord I opened my activation manual and I saw, I'm like, yeah, I just felt the Lord highlight this to me. Guys, even the prayer most of the time I'm fully myself. I've just been praying to God. I was telling Toke yesterday that God has to really help us. My time I need even to upgrade. There's so much I need to do part time, and I'm supposed to be resting. And this is me resting. Imagine I'm not even now resting. So despite all of that, I'm able to persevere. With all my eyes have seen, I'm still able to persevere. Finally, in what area do people mostly positively respond to your gift or input? In what area do people mostly positively respond to your gift or input? Guys, some of you need to do this question over and over again. Because I remember, I'm just laughing at myself. One time, years ago, when I tried to do this thing, because I'm seeing conflict, I don't want you to prove a point by answering this question. Just answer honestly. That if they ask someone that is so close to you, what would they write? So I'm not asking you to defend yourself. Because some of us are trying to prove our relevance by trying to attach ourselves to some other mountain as against where you really are. So I'm going to run through again. The final one, in what area do people mostly respond positively to your gift or input? In what area? In what area do people mostly? In what area do people mostly respond to your gift or influence? In what area do mostly people positively respond to your gift or input? In what area do people mostly positively respond to your gift? What is the most common feedback? Like, what positive response? In what area do people give the most positive response to you? What area? All right. So for this, I'm going to take. Then we'll have one more because I need to give you the assignment. I told there's an assignment we're going to do for 1 year. So we're going to be reviewing it at least so that, because what we're going to do after this month in October, because we have a lot already planned for IRA, we're going to have breakout groups. So every maybe twice a month, we're going to have breakout groups for the 7 mountains. I want to hear what the Lord is saying to you. So we're going to do, it's a continuous training for us, honestly, because this is how we really get to that point of intervention and intercession. So let's go. Queen Iwo, unmute your mic. I'm going to take Queen Iwo and I'm going to take Joycey for a reason. But then I'll go to the second one and I'll take a group of people. Now, Queen Iwo, in what, your number one answer, what was it? In what area have you seen the greatest amount of influence, favor, and authority?
Okay, good morning, Pia. Good morning, everyone. So for me, interestingly, looking back, it was when I worked as a presenter, when I think it has to do with speaking, talking. I actually had an opportunity to travel out for about almost 2 years, and it was all expense paid. I worked TV, radio, and also, I mean, that could be like the highlight of,
Now,
what I've.
Let me help you. I'm not even talking about one-off. This has to be a consistent. In what area have you had the greatest amount of influence, favor, and authority consistently?
I think it has to do with, can I say speaking, apart from, fitness?
So
but almost all I do is speaking,
Guys, because you could speak in any. Now, that's looking at a gift.
Okay.
That's a gift, not a sphere of influence, because I could be a speaker. That gift. Thank you so much for raising that. Because that gift could feature in all. In family, you could even be so if that comes to like sociography or demography or something. Let me explain what I mean. In religion, speaking could be one of the things that identify you to stand out. In business, in government, education, arts and entertainment, media, family. So that's a gift. That's a strong suit gift. That gift is supposed to help you in any of the mountains that you find yourself. Okay.
Okay.
So let me go to,
Okay.
hold on. I'm going to go to somebody else now. Oluwagbemiga Kukola. What was yours?
Hello.
Yeah, what was yours?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I got lost.
The question I've been answering since, if you don't get it, then you can't get it. In what area? The number one question.
Okay, religion.
Religion. Please tell me about that.
Okay, so over time, I look back in school and outside school, I've had the opportunity to always lead a group of people, and it has always been in religious settings, and people have always come to me for advice based on maybe their work, their faith, so that's why I chose a religion.
All right. So Queenie, well, you're going to have to help me do it. The answer, and if you don't have anyone, that's fine. I love what you brought up, because that was what happened to me as well. I kept listing my giftings. For instance, for me right now, I can also say speaking, and that will make me to always want to tilt towards media. But what we're trying to say is that your core area, what's your core, that consistently you have the greatest amount of influence. I can't say right now I have the greatest amount of influence in media. I presented at one time, my show even won an award. But consistently over time, the greatest amount of influence, favor, and authority that has opened doors for me, all right, is the mountain of religion. Now, guys, trust me, when I say I fought this for years, like I will just, because I'm so gifted, so many things. Kini, is it education? Is it government? Is it what? Is it business? But I'm looking at what's my core, right? I'm going to come back to you to think about it. Joycey, what's yours?
The mountain of economy.
Economy. I was really hoping that you would get that as well. What's her name? Ajayi. Don't forget. You forget. Ajibola Ajayi.
Good morning. I think I would say probably I have a mix, so I don't know if you can have multiple ones, but yeah, I think I would say economy, government, and religion.
Okay. What I'm asking, what I want
And
to find
youth.
and what?
So yeah, and
And
youth, like young people and
okay.
kids.
No,
Yeah.
now those are talking about sphere. Youth is sphere. I'm saying that it has to be within the 7 family,
Yeah.
religion, business. Your core. Where is that one that consistently over the years you have had the greatest amount of influence? Meaning, if you talk
I
about
think
it
it will
now,
be business and religion.
if you talk about it
Yeah,
now,
business and religion.
want to pick one. If you talk about it now, people will listen to you. What's that thing that you have authority? Don't forget, it's not just influence, it's favor and authority. Let me explain influence. Like you influence people to make the right decision in that mountain. You, no matter how,
Business.
whether life is small, favor, you have favor. Like when you enter there, you find a way. And authority, like if you speak that this is what needs to be done, if you contribute your quote, people will listen to you because you have track record. What would that be?
Gosh.
All right, so think about it. I'll get back to you.
It would be between business and religion.
Okay, so you have to pick one. I'll come back to you.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
But somebody gets it what we're doing now. I'm loving this. Queen, can you unmute your mic? So which
Yes,
one is it?
yeah. So I would like to ask a question so that it's clear.
Yes.
So because most of what I've done is to teach and to coach. So does that fall under education or arts and entertainment? So I'm not, because what I do is fitness, and most of what I've done is show people, teach people. So right now I don't even know where that falls under.
Joycey, can you unmute your mic as the fitness listening?
Mm-hmm. I'm here.
You know something now. There's a tendency to intertwine gifts and mountains. Yeah, there's a huge, and that's what I did for a long time. I will always use my what's it called, my giftings as my mountain, because I'm gifted and I can do media stuff. Doesn't mean so when you're looking at mountains, is where you have authority. Now, when I say authority, it might not be authority that you can now lead the whole nation, but authority that in your sphere, even your friends, when you're having conversation, look at what do people come to you most for counseling, like because you have authority. Most times is I need my problem with God, my DM. God, marriage, kiniko, all under religion. All right. So, Joycey, what she said about fitness, what would you think it is? I have something in mind. Like she's always teaching, creating curriculum, blah blah blah. What do you think that is?
I think she's on the mountain of education, to be honest.
Fantastic. That was it. That's it for me. Because what has happened is you're teaching people. Now, that's we're not we're going to now break down subgroups of each of these mountains. Because thank you so much. It's because you're teaching, because you're engaging, right? It's just that your sphere is now fitness.
Oh, I see.
Your sphere is now fitness. Now, if you want to even now do your demography, meaning is it old people, is it young people, is it ladies, is it men? That's when you now drill down to demography. Then what is the range? Do you get my point? So, Iwo, your core, as at this morning, is education.
Okay.
So what has helped that education is your ability to talk. I mean, I watch your videos. You are exciting. You are, come on, everybody. Now, somebody else called into the fitness that doesn't have that giftings might not be able to engage as much as you do. So that means your gifting of talking, your gifting of public speaking is one of your unique selling points, your USP in the mountain of education. Do you get that? Do you get me now? Because you can
Yes, I
now,
do.
what's the called? You can now really talk, you are engaging. It was so what if you are building a curriculum with the Lord? So one of the things I would expect, which you started, and I'm so proud of you, is you see that your video. Now you need to include Instagram Live. Why? You know that one of the things that because you have that, some people do fitness and they also make money. Like the person that owns JSC Fitness Club might never be somebody that can talk. So what she might most likely do is build it up, get somebody else to put it in to do it. But you have the ability to speak, like you can engage your teaching. So if you really sit down with the Lord and build your curriculum, now it doesn't mean that those that don't engage cannot learn and develop it. You can. So if you're going to really be a teacher, and for anybody in a sort of education, another person at DBC teaching is completely different human being. I've seen a video, I'm like, what? She's completely different from when she's even praying or when she's talking. It's like I'm looking at two different individuals. All right. So it is important to find out what is the thing that makes you. So you've been a great communicator will help you. So if you want to develop your giftings, if the Lord has given you that you will write curriculum, how can you present that curriculum to even convince people to buy it? If the Lord has given you, call you to the mountain of education and say, oh, for instance, this fitness is your spare. You're going to take fitness to the next case. You didn't begin to say yourself, what are the giftings I have that can help this spare? What has happened most times, guys, is we take these giftings and pursue media. Does that make sense? You pursue media in terms of now, you now enter media and now want to talk about anything. Whereas what you should do is take that speaking and pursue fitness to the biggest. Take that gifting. I feel the anointing of God so powerfully upon me. And now this is an example of feeling anointed for what I do. Now, take that giftings, right, and pour into fitness. What happens is after a while, when you, let's take, for instance, for a lack of better example, guys, I say this for lack of better example, Beyonce. This girl and her husband, or whatever partner, they've been able to dominate art and entertainment. They use all their ability into it. Now they are topping media. Now they've gone to fashion. Look at Rihanna as well. Rihanna focused on art and entertainment. Rihanna has not released any song in about God knows how many years. But guess what? She's cashing out because she has opened a line. She's really from moving from art and entertainment, a sphere of singing. She's taken maybe a passion for fashion. She's taken it into a beauty product. So I think she has lipstick or perfume or one of those things like that. So what people don't know is a lot of us are tempted to just want to spread ourselves thin. And that's what Paul was saying in 2 Corinthians. Don't overstretch. And that's what I was trying to do as well, because I really did not want to be in mountain of religion. I felt like, no, God, what about this gift? The moment I channeled my giftings towards it. Look at what God is doing. So those speaking, why I use those guys is because now, guess what is happening? When you become an authority in a mountain, and thank you, Holy Spirit, a perfect example for us in kingdom is TD Jakes. Now, does it mean everybody will become a TD Jakes? No, maybe not on that scale, but you can now influence a pastor that gives himself to training, that gives himself, will begin to influence someone so that you will influence other people in different mountains. That's really so powerful. You're influencing other mountains, and before you know it, they begin to bring you in. Look at TD Jakes. Look at Bishop Oyedepo. Bishop Oyedepo, Mountain of Religion. Because of that tenacity, look at, he entered publication, media. He has entered education. He has schools. So being faithful in a mountain makes you an authority. And because of the principle to build can be universal. The principle to build anything. So the reason why I could speak to people starting business, speak to other leaders, is because of what I've been able to build by God's will for the last 15 years. There are certain portable skills, certain wisdom I've picked up, so much so that now they will call me to come and do it. Doesn't mean I should feature them. Now, let me give you an instance. As much as Bishop Oyedepo has opened up schools, opened up publication, he's not sitting down there. He has gotten people that is their core to stay there. But guess what? Because he has founded it and he has passion for these things, he can still feature in it. Doesn't make sense. So that thing is so powerful. Take out time, guys. Sorry, I'm running a bit. I don't know if we're still here. So let's just quickly wrap up. Take out time. What you can do, let me give you an assignment. List your gifts. Your gift is not your sphere of, your gift is not your mountain of influence. Your gift will help you. Your gift is not your calling. You can read this book, go Getting Bigger. What's the name of this? Something Bigger by this Martian, this girl. I'll look for it and show you guys next week. And because a lot of us get trapped in that, and you get I was there. I could speak, I could train, I could teach. I'm like, I could do all of these things. So I really wanted to be in all at the same time. And God had to show me this question: what is your greatest influence? Forget it. Now that I'm putting my teaching into religion, look at the impact. I'm taking my media into religion, look at the impact. I'm taking my strategy into religion, look at the impact. I'm taking my into creating community, look at the impact. All right. So even though I have a secondary mountain and all of that, we'll get there in a bit next week. Now, we've answered that. So believing bigger. Thank you so much. I saw some questions. Somebody asked that, what exactly is the mountain of religion? That is, you operate in the faith-based. You operate in the faith-based. Your faith operates in the faith-based, like church. You're a church human being. You're church. It's church. Or everything church, right? The mountain of religion, faith-based. Now, can writing as a scribe in the kingdom is on that mountain? Nope. Writing is a gift. As a scribe is a gift, really. So it's same thing like I said to Queen Iwo. So you have to sit down. Some of you might not be answering this question now. Screen grab the question as Joyce has written them and sit down after now to answer it. Guys, it took this on for all my answers is religion. Because I've done it over and over again and I'm open to being sincere. The temptation is to respond with your gifts. No, those giftings are what will help you in the sphere you've been called. The next question is, what area do the task and promotion come most easily to you? It's what I'm going to take one of that, and then because I didn't give us our last assignment. This one is an assignment that you must start doing from today. In what area do the task, the result, and promotion come easily to you? In what area?
So for me, I would say education.
Is it the same thing as your first answer?
Yes, it's the same thing as my first answer.
Is it the same as your third answer?
Yes, same thing.
Where have you seen the most success with the least amount of effort? Same thing. Is it the same
Definitely
thing as
education.
your fourth answer?
It's the same for all my questions.
Fantastic. So well done. You have something going for you there. Okay. Ideally, guys, by the time you are done, your answers should be the same. Maureen, I want to take you. In what area are you motivated to work hard and persevere? Maureen?
Religion.
Is it the same thing as your first answer?
Yes, my first answer was religion.
Second answer?
Everything was religion.
Fantastic. All right, thanks. Now, the next assignment. So, guys, have you been able to get this? Let me see in comment section if you are clear. We'll keep learning about this. So, Jibola, I'm coming back to you. Jibola, I'm coming back to you.
Okay.
So, as it helps now, if we go back, what your giftings, in what area is your greatest amount of influence, favor, and authority? Not the one that you love, but you have results to show for it. Like you can influence decision, you have favor, and you have authority. You're muted, Jibola.
I would say that would just be government, really, because that's where I've worked, and in law, government and law.
Okay.
So I think that's where I have a track record.
That's where you have a track record.
Where have I?
Where have you seen the most success with least amount of effort?
In business.
So can I put it to you today that actually your core is actually your core as we know it today? Your core. In fact, there's one that is in my head and I'm wondering why you're not tapping into it, but let's wait first.
Okay, well, my passion for children.
No, not that one. Wait first. That's a passion.
Okay.
Because that means you can have a business that addresses children. That's what you do. You have a business that addresses children. So that becomes your sphere, right? In what area, if you look at your business, most of your business are catered towards family, children, even the warehouse thing you have is really, it's not just something, it's not dress and shoe, it's not luxurious stuff. It's really family and all of that. All right. I wanted to ask this question. Yes. What area are you motivated to work hard and persevere in? That no matter what has happened, you just keep going. You just have this tenacity to recover from anything and keep going.
I think it'll be business.
All right. In what area do people mostly respond to your gifts? What area do like, all your life, you have heard a consistent remark about
yourself? Religion.
No, minus religion. Like that you have
business and family.
Not the impact your business. All right. In what area do you have results, promotion that comes easily to you? Now, I'm not talking about a season. I'm talking about consistently. What area in the last 10 years? Consistently.
Business.
That you have routine. So do you agree that it's possible that your greatest amount of influence, favor, and authority is in business?
I agree. I just haven't felt it. But yes, right. I agree.
Because for a long time, it's possible that the passion for the children, and that's what would change even how you run your business and drive even the things you do for kids. For a long time, this other thing, and it happened to me, guys, this other thing that you're good at, this other thing that people commend you for, if you don't know how to channel it, will be a distraction to the very core that you have. Let me explain to you. Now, it's like when you get to a city, when you're even going shopping, what are you looking out for? Ajibala, when you go to the city, what's
educational toys? Educational toys or like groceries, how you can find certain things that you wouldn't normally find.
Okay. 20 years ago, when you were in school, what was the natural thing for you to do without little effort that you were making money from?
To sell stuff that I bought when I went on holiday.
All right. When you get to a place, do you look for opportunities for commerce?
Yes, I do.
All right. Even the things you have for kids, those things, are they also in a way that has to do with economy, that has to do with business?
Yes, because I also sell toys and educational stuff for kids.
So yes. Joyce, ladies and gentlemen, Jibola, I put it to you today that your first sphere, Joyce, what do you have to say about this based on the question I've asked her? I think your first sphere is economy, not even family, not even religion. Don't forget your ability to pray, your giftings. in that sphere. Into all of us, if you're not careful, everybody say they are religion because you can pray, you can go for you do those things. That could be a second. That's your all of us to have a natural habitat. So for those of you that are just writing religion, meaning you have authority. It's something you have done consistently. Have you led a people? Remember, this mountain is not something you just you attend. It's not a place that you go there and like admire. A place where you work, a place where you've had influence, a place where you have tilled the ground. Okay. So Joyce, I want to ask you, based on the analysis we did what would be your feedback to Joyce Jeeves?
I see it as mountain of economy for Jibs. And I see that, the mountain of economy is what opens doors, is the authority, is the area in which you have authority to open doors to do things in some of your passions, AKA family, AKA religion. And so that's where you've built. If right now somebody was to call you to speak on, building business, trade, or anything like that, you can speak with authority and experience. That's what God has used. And then the other passions, you'd be able to push as well through this mountain.
Fantastic. Now, guys, why am I saying this? Have we seen that if you don't pay attention to your sphere, now this assignment was even to even find your sphere. If you don't pay attention to your sphere, you will not be able to build you'll probably be just going everywhere. As if you're pouring water into baskets because you get the most results. You have the giftings, the anointing to do that. For example, Jibola, now you have the exposure, you have the advantage. All right. How do I have a drink that is only I don't want selling it? Can I put it to you today, right? And I'm saying this publicly so that everyone else will take account. That the reason why you have not seen so much happen is because you have not paid so much attention. You, Jibola, and this, I feel this, anybody, I want us to get a word. Is it possible that you struggle with this mountain? Jibola, is it possible that you struggle with it?
100%, because I'm trained as a lawyer. So
right.
I always feel like that's where I feel safe. If that makes sense, where you feel like you're most skilled in an area. But so I feel like.
So can I ask you a question? How many years have you practiced? Like, look at this service doing business and law. Which one have you practiced more?
Well, I mean, I've been doing business since I was probably 14. Right. So if I speak to my mom, she'll say even since I was a kid, like when we would go to say an amusement park, I would keep my money and make other people spend their money on me, or things like that. So I guess really forever. But I've been doing law since I started studying it in A-levels, which is 16. I'm practicing since like 21. So yeah, at least.
Are you actively practicing law right now? Have you seen the possibility? Have you ever tried to see how law can enhance your business?
Yes, because I used to be a transactional lawyer. So I used to help people set up like businesses and things like that, but I've just never applied it to myself.
Right. So we are going to take this up later on. Please, I want to on this call. I want to address it. Please, we're going to hold James accountable because I've seen where God has just opened your ears this morning. We'll lack a better word because we need to steward that which, because and you know why this happened to me is it possible it's also a perception thing. One of the greatest battles you will fight about your sphere is perception. The idea is it perception, like you rather be in something than in something. Is it right?
100%. I would rather be referred to a lawyer than a business woman or business. It's just, I think, my training. So I think it's also a mindset thing where even though I can work in law for free and I've done so in the past, like I can do pro bono. I'm happy to work for free, provided I'm doing some kind of law. Whereas I make most money from business.
This also affected how often you go to your place of business so that you're not just seen as a businesswoman in trying to preserve your psychic. Is it possible?
100%. I'd rather go to
an office,
a law firm, and an office. So I think that again, my mindset than to go to any of my stores.
Warehouse and
I'd
stuff.
rather dress corporately and look like a lawyer than, yeah. I think it's a mindset.
Now, can I tell you
When I
guys,
go to the store, I dress corporate.
when you go to the store, you dress corporate.
100%.
Guys, thank you so much. James, I love this. You know why? A lot of us are like that. We are trying, and this was me. And I'm still dealing with this was me. James, this was like, hey, do anything, don't call me a pastor. Can I tell you something? There was a time when the Lord said I speak, when the Lord gave me that I speak and told me, you see, being a lawyer, speaking as a pastor, a coach, that's not who you are. Those are expressions of the giftings. What I've called you to do is the day I tell you to stop speaking that you should be worried. All right. I was so excited. I did my PowerPoint and I was practicing. I watch all these Brian Jones, all these guys that are top speakers of the world. I'm looking at what they are doing. People are screaming. I'm like, I do this and more. I wanted to take the anointing and force it into a sphere that God has not called me as at that time. Because guess what? It's happening gradually where I'm able to influence. So God wants to influence people, change behavior through me, but not through the message I really wanted. So I would be anything but a pastor. Don't call me. I struggled. I cried. Guys, I'm not joking. It was a time where every time they were inviting me to speak in big places, they said, "Oh, you just come and do prayer." I'm like, "No." And this is before I wrote a book. I'm like, I would tell me, only me there. I do more than pray. I wanted to prove a point by all means that I am bigger than. Don't just box me up as one pastor guy. I'm young in my prime. Don't make me. Don't no. I really want to. I wanted the Wall Street life. I wanted the dress well. When you ask me where I work with joy, I work in Guaranteed Trust Bank. That's the stepping stone. So next I say I work in United Nations. Next you say blah 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 blah. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to do all of those things. So it was a struggle. Can I tell you this? Until you fully submit to the hand of the Lord, where He has placed you, you cannot eat the good of the land. The Lord started telling me. Let me see, I said until you're willing and obedient. So I became obedient, but I wasn't willing. I was obedient, but there was a struggle inside of me. I will never disobey God intentionally because I love Him so much. So I will obey God, I will show up, but there was a struggle. People ask me, what do you do? Speech, my baby. See, I see actually, so right now, yeah, I will run this power ministry, but that's why there was a season where dream strategy was, I wanted to prosper in dream strategy than obesity. In fact, I put dream strategy under obesity. I was trying. It's tied to an esteem situation. It's tied to an ego. It's tied to pride. It's tied to a lack of understanding of who we are. And until you accept you for who God has made you to be, not who you see yourself to be, you're not ready to eat the good of the land. Oh boy. And until the Lord wrestled with me and I became like Jacob and I started limping before I started seeing the good. Now, look at this. The influence God has given to me, the people I have had to meet, even if I was in corporate, what the eyes I would do would be trying to ask them, oh, come and open an account, or let me manage your account, or I'm a brand strategist, or whatever. Now I'm still sitting with business people to do strategy with them, but not on the premise of my expertise. And people, guess what? So tomorrow, people see me think, when people see me train, when people see me sit down on strategy, they're screaming, Imisi, you should go and don't waste this, make money for, and I'm smiling. I'm saying, you don't know me. People that know me know that this is me, this is what I do. If you let me go. But guess what? God is still in the season of establishing me as an authority to religion. And it will get the mark why, when both the fathers and the young can listen to what I have to say. And can I tell you this is happening already? But God needs to solidify me there. Because when I become an authority, look at TD Jakes. When TD Jakes then started talking about economy and business, people could listen because they could see what he has built and he has a track record from that place. So sometimes when God is restraining you in a mountain, it's not because he's not going to move you to other places. It's because you need to become truly an authority. You need to have dealt with your esteem. You need to have dealt with some of the way you perceive yourself. When you have done that effectively, then it can move you to this thing. So someone should ask. So this other assignment I want to give, I won't give it today. The assignment I want to give to you, I want you to pray over yourself. For those of you that are not clear, throughout the week, take a journal. When we meet on Saturday, even though we have a meeting in my church on Saturday, it doesn't matter. We'll still do this before I go. Thank God it's 10 a.m. Though we're still going to meet, I'm going to meet on Saturday, then I'll give you the next assignment on this. All right. But the assignment I want, before I answer this question, the assignment I want you to do, ask this question every day. This 5 questions, ask them every day. When you're writing 50 billion mountain, remember, I know there are other mountains you can feature. I want your core. Now, if you're reaching your core, you're going to ask yourself, how am I equipping myself in this mountain? How am I influencing in this mountain? What is my time schedule for this mountain? How much time are you giving this mountain? How much of your resources, how much of your thinking are you giving this mountain? Right? Then I want you to raise a confession for yourself over this mountain. Then ask the Lord, what's the prophetic word for you this week concerning you and this mountain? I don't even got all the questions I said. I'm going to take it again. I want you to write all these 5 questions. Ask yourself these questions every day, every day, every day. And ask yourself, what am I doing currently in this mountain on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the ice? How am I faring in this mountain? Am I giving it my all? If you're still struggling like I was, or like Jibola is, and many of us, and I say that, and now, Jibola, you won't believe how grateful I am that I went through all of that. I'm more you understand because I could speak to it. I know it. I know it, ma. I know it. And until you're willing and obedient, you can't eat the good of the land. You can't see increase. You'll be frustrated. You'll be tired. If this is the symptoms you experience, your mind is, you're not able to build. You're just stuck. You don't have momentum. You're not building. It's scattered. You cannot consolidate. Everything becomes an escape from it. Every next door, every opportunity is an escape. And Jibola, you're not running anywhere. I'm coming for you. And God is coming for you. So ask yourself this question every day. For those of you that are just starters, what am I doing? What is God's vision for me for this mountain? Ask the Lord, what is his vision for you in this mountain? Are you committed to training in this mountain? How are you developing yourself in this mountain? Because ultimately, you are able to speak and give prophetic word about this mountain. That's where we're going. You're able to also influence other leaders in this mountain. So your question is, what's God's vision for you? What is your sphere? So even if you're education, we saw like for Iwo now, is fitness. If you're education, is it children? What is your sphere? All right. If you're in economy and business, what is the kind of business? For Jibola now, she's into groceries. She's into all this kind of thing. So you're asking yourself, what is my mountain? You answer all this question every day. What is God's vision for me in this mountain? How am I developing myself in this mountain? What is the gap between the faith I have now and my potential faith? What do I mean? For me now, in the mountain of religion, the Lord is saying, I want you to raise 100,000 intercessors, revivalists, and transformational leaders. Where am I now, right now? We're 66 on this call. That's a long. What do I need? Like, what is the gap? What's the faith level? What is the training level I need to do to raise intercessors, revivalists, and transformational leaders? I mean, God will do his own. What is my part to do? Now, list what are your gifts and how can your gifts help you in this mountain? Yes, that's number 4. What are your gifts and how are these gifts helping this mountain? Sorry, that's number 5. Number 4 is what is your faith level for this mountain? Number 4 is what's your faith level for this mountain? What's the gap between your potential faith, meaning what you're seeing, the big picture? Government, I'm seeing that I'll either be in government or I am. For some of you, it's not because you will be in government, it's because right now, all your life you have had to do with government, you have worked in government, maybe you're civil service or whatever, and maybe God is raising you to be a Daniel to counsel the king. Maybe your vision is to be the minister. So that's the vision. But where are you right now? Where's your faith? Are you able to even influence your local government? All right. So what's the gap? Know your gap. What is the gap? What do you need to do to fill that gap? To build that faith? What faith? How do you need to build faith? Coming by hearing by the word of God. What do you need to do to build your faith to be able to see yourself and see the manifestation? And of course, number 5, your gifts. What are your gifts and how can your gifts help you? I want you to do this every day throughout the week. I'm going to do it as well. Take out time throughout the week. See how you can develop and strengthen yourself. Then number 6, who are you influencing this week from that sphere? In that sphere of influence, how are you influencing people in that your sphere? So your economy, your business, in whatever. How are you influencing people in that sphere? Okay? All right. So someone asked me to quickly break down. I will do that. I will end for this morning. All right. I've had a great time. We'll take more questions by God's grace next week. Um, Thank you so much for this eye opener this morning. Please, can we have a definition of 5 mountains to enable us narrow down so that where we belong? Because some got clearer only after explanation. All right, fantastic. So what are the 5 mountains? Family. If you're close to the mountain of family, maybe, for instance, if you are into what's the example of family again? Where whatever you are doing has to do with God. Do I just had the brain freeze right now? Can somebody help me while I'm trying to unfreeze my mind? Anybody? Yeah, I know counseling. Yes. So yes. Uh yes, I know counseling, relationship coach, but I want to be sure those are not just giftings, right? Yeah. Family, anything that has to impact the unit of family. Maybe yeah, okay, fantastic. For instance, if you are into, you have you do a show now, you will just think that you're into media, but what are you influencing? Right? Ministry of Health. Okay. I don't, hold on, please. Wow, this just escaped my mind right now. Let me go to other mountains while I try to solve this family. Hold on, please give me a minute. Yeah, so I think relationship coach, counseling for marriage and all of that. Please get, yes, parenting. You're doing stuff for parents. So I think it will be in line of marriage, relationship, whatever you do. Maybe you're writing, you're helping with parenting, you're doing relationship counseling, recovery, for those that are dealing with divorce, or people that are dealing with what's it called, problematic. So if all you're writing, what you're doing, instead of thinking that, oh, your writing is just for media, you're looking at it in terms of, I think there's something I'm missing in this family thing. Thank you for asking. I would get more information. Fantastic. Home affairs. Fantastic. Parenting, addiction, sex. Exactly. Anything that has to impact the family as a unit, right? Anything that has to impact the family as a unit, either a sect of it, pregnancy, fantastic. So either you're fantastic. If you are a gynae, right, that's family. If you're a gynae, for those that are doctors, gynae, family. Those that do issue of maybe Maureen, who is that? Maureen, Wika, your mic is muted and your video was coming on. All right. So if you're a gynae, I want to believe that is family. You see hospital, there's an hospital. Maureen, your phone is doing also this morning. So for instance, there's an hospital that they focus on children and just mothers. So if your family is anything that influences the unit in terms of maybe counseling, and it's your core, that's what you do most of the time. That's what you have authority. There's a woman that has a platform for raising girls. All right, raising girls. So they've listed all those things. I hope that's clear for family. Jesus Christ. That one is just, someone should ever pronounce it very well again. So, all right. The next one is religion. I talked about everyone that is into yes, raising girls. So raising girls will not be a sphere for the woman. Raising girls will now be raising girls will not be the sphere you are looking at in the family. For some is boys, for some is children, for some is parents. So in the family, there are different spheres. Some focus on just parents, the relationship. One are gynae, they focus on pregnancy, sex. So there are different spheres in family. But if you function in any of this home affairs, that's majorly what you're doing. Family influences the unit in terms of health, spiritual, social, relationship, emotional, and psychological aspect of the unit of family. Okay. Now, if you look at religion, you're looking at those that your church is your sphere. An example is Ephesians 4. So for the church, you now have different sphere. Now, there's a sphere that is into the fivefold. Not everybody in the religion is into fivefold. All right, meaning you're called a pastor, apostle, prophet, teacher, evangelist. That's that's another layer in religion. Not everybody in religion are into the fivefold. Some are into paraministry, meaning you are not a fivefolder, but you've been able to create a religious, faith-based thing for different aspects, or for prayer, for women, and not in that. Remember, it's not family. It's just, well, sometimes they are connected, but it's faith-based, as against looking at how the family function, but it's faith-based. However, religion has the potential, because according to Ephesians 4, to raise everybody to their own life and work and duty, their own life and ministry. All right. So if you're faith-based, you are. All right. So that's that. The next one is business. We're talking about those that entrepreneurs, the businesses, the corporations. That's where you find yourself. You start business, you are able to see through it, you have an authority, you're able to build systems, structure, support for businesses, you have ease, you just keep building business. You can start business, you keep breaking into other business and all of that, or corporations, right? Economy, you impact the economy. Government is your passion, you are into politics. You're into politics, or you are paraministry as well. You know, there's paraministry in government, meaning you are in civil service or you're in public service. That's one where you work and you have passion. That's where you work and you have influence over there. You are able to contribute to it. All right. And then policy, they're looking at social enterprise, all the 7 DGs of the DGs and all of those things, all those millennial goals, all those things are all under, they find their footing in government, and some of them in education. Education, of course, as we said, it has to do with teaching and has to do with socialization. You must understand that there are different units of socialization, which is family, media, education, I think government or something. All right. So education, you are teaching, you are equipping, you are behaving, you're teaching, you're equipping, you're creating curriculum, you have a way to influence patterns over time. All right. Arts and entertainment, that's what you're looking at. People used to mistake arts and entertainment and media. Media is the outlet through which arts and entertainment is expressed most times. All right. So arts and entertainment, you're looking at the issue of culture, you're looking at the issue of movies, drama, music, music, drama, arts, painting, sculpting, sculpturing, or whatever that thing is called, and all of that. Media, they're looking at the means by which they're done. Either social media now, then it used to be newspaper and print, it used to be the magazines, it used to be the news outlets. That's media, news outlets, and that's media is the airwave, basically the airwave. That's the media. So I've explained all of that. So sometimes some of you might look at all you do to be able to trace which is your gift, which is actually your core. And sometimes if you look at all you do, these questions will help you find out how to differentiate that. Wow, we've almost done 2 hours. I hope you've had a great time this morning. They were going to upload this audio this morning so that you can go back and listen to it, try to do some activations, go back. I love the fact, don't ever mistake your giftings and all of that. All right, I have a change of my mountain. Yeah, the more you study, the more you realize that, what really is the thing? Like I said, what I've had to do. Oh, Pastor sent me a question. Please, let's continue. I support homeless children, widow children who can't go to school. I have this every passion for them. Please, can I verify what is my influence as well? Like I said, those ones you have to sit down and ask these questions. This thing. All right, you have to sit down and ask this question, look at, oh, because you do those things, because I also give to the widow, I feed the children, doesn't mean, and also don't mistake your obligation as a believer as your sphere of influence. You get my point? The area of the Lord is also in terms of giving. God gives us sphere. See, this issue of sphere is wide. It's wide. The way God will empower people to give. No. That's why they ask the question of, are you able to persevere? In case you fail in a mountain, does it mean that you've changed? No, not at all, darling. You just need to pay more attention to it. Okay, let me see. Okay, there's a book. Joyce, go ahead, please. There's a book that will help you guys. You keep studying. There's this 7 Mountain of Influence book. Is that it? 7 Mountain. I want to recommend the 7 Mountain. Joyce, please go ahead. Share the book that can help you. There's the 7 Mountain of Influence book, and there's the 7 Prophecy. I'm coming. Let me look for. I have the 2. Where are they now? Just go ahead, you can speak. I have the 7 Mountain Prophecy and the 7 Mountain Mantle. The 7 Mountain Mantle and the 7 Mountain by Johnny Enlow. You can get it so you can read it more to have more understanding. To be honest, I've not even read it. I keep carrying that book around. I've not read it, but I'm going to try and also read more of it. But well, most of the things I've learned was from training, just looking at scriptures and everything. But I'm going to also. So I want to recommend that. Let us take it. Let's take time. Can we agree? It's available. These guys have it. Latana, but you go cost. There's one time I put it on. You know what? I'm going to put it on my. Latana has it, but I think it's about very high money in Latana. But it's okay if you can buy Latana. Just call Latana. There's another lady that gets it for me. No, buy Latana. Latana one is the very original one. All those other ones that is 1.5 cannot be the original one. All right. So check for your bookstores. Get it. Can we all review this book? I'm also making a commitment to read this time around. Can we all make a commitment to? I have both and read a little. I know I started the prophecy. I didn't finish the mountain as well. But let's give ourselves to it. Come on, guys. We can do this. So if you are ready before, you can go through it again. So at the end of the month, that must have finished reading the 7 Mountain Prophecy or Mantle, whatever, which of them. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's really going to help you. Okay. So she has soft copy of them. Please. Wow. How do we get this soft copy now? You know what we can. Please hold on, I'm coming. Okay, so they're going to send it to a Telegram group. They'll send it to the Telegram group. You can put a link to the Telegram group now on the call. Please put your, you don't need to drop emails. Just put the link of the Telegram group here, guys. Admin, quickly put the link of the Telegram group. Let those pick it up. If you don't get it, they'll put it on WeTransfer and give you when you come on. But put it on Telegram group, please. You can check bok.africa for soft copy. Say people are giving you plenty things. Thank you so much. I mean, God will continue to help us to be transparent and sincere. Amen. All right. So I just bless you. Above all, the Holy Spirit, my God, is your teacher. It will teach you, will strengthen you. And I pray there will be no more confusion in the name of Jesus. I pray there will be clarity. Guys,